Alrighty guys, episode 8 or 7, I have no clue what episode it is. But I have looked it up. Last episode is not the same session. Last episode we were talking about Titanic, a little bit saw the clips. We're probably gonna fight the alligator right now. That's super simple. We have to use this thing and then shoot it with a pistol. We don't have to use any strong weapons. But with the Titanic we're different, 3 different classes. I talked about that. I talked about the maintenance. It was delayed 3 times in total for the Titanic to make it. A few delays were in the coal to run the ship, because you were needing a lot of coal. So the storage system was made smaller than they thought, because they had, for such a big ship and for the distance they had to go, they had to bring so much. Such a weird boss fight as well, but such a weird decision they had made, because they had a lot less room at the beginning, so they had to make a lot more room just for the coal to store. Because back then there was not electricity or something. There was still coal. Coal was the main source for boats and for ships. Let's see this cutscene. Crazy creep.
Come on, wake up, Sherry.
Sherry. Oh, that thing crawled out of her. She's fine now. Oh, she doesn't look fine. She got something on her face.
Don't worry, you'll be fine.
She's infected,
Come on,
probably.
let's go.
I know already. We have to find a cure probably for her. Oh, I like that 2 left things, Claire and Sherry. I didn't saw that. Let's grab the emblem. Oh, we cannot grab. Let's use the green herb. Yep. All right. They had to delay a lot of stuff for the coal. They had made more room, but for the metal, the beginning of the thing, the metal was not strong enough, so I had to just take all the metal off and just replace it with even stronger metal, and that costed even more money. They first thought it was not gonna be a lot of money, but at the end it was incredible, a lot of money. Let's yeah, the emblem, pretty annoying. Oh, do we have the crank? Yep, we do. I forgot it. Alright, we can slow this down. Then we can put the one circle thing in the machine, and then go back and put the other coin in. Grab the coin and put it in the machine as well. But they had made a lot of things. They worked a little too fast, because there were a lot of research done, because the ship sunk because of the iceberg, but it's not that. Where the iceberg was struck was on a weak part, because the metal was not strong enough, or was just welded too fast and was not looked upon, because the ship had a deadline, because it was delayed a few times, and then it had a real deadline. Yeah, Sherry has to come every single time. Starts to get annoying. Really starts to get annoying. Yeah. Because of that, the ship was not as strong on a few parts, because they had to put double layer in, but they would never know, because that was on a weak side of the ship. But when it was I don't know what the exact time was when the ship was sunken, but there was in total 2 other ships pretty far away. One was, I don't know how many kilometers away, maybe 12 kilometers away, and the other was 36, I think, kilometers away. And back then they shot a flare and they shot fireworks in the air, but the other ship thought it was not a big idea because it was just firework. They thought it was the best ship in the world and wasn't gonna sink. And they tried to send messages, but back then there was nobody to answer that because the other guy was going to sleep. So on the other on the Titanic, they sent messages to the ships, to the 2 ships. Not to the one ship, the other ship they didn't know about, but to the one ship they knew, and saw from super far away. But they signed it with the beeps. I don't know what it's called anymore. I forgot the name. Sherry, come on, man. She's always slow. But with the beeping noise. But the other guy was the guy that should be on that radio. Was sleeping, so they didn't know. Only the next day they knew. And it was way too late then. Sherry is starting to get really annoying. She's just moving a lot slower than me. If I run and she runs, I'm running faster. But it's a great touch to the thing. So the Titanic sunk pretty it didn't took that long for the ship to sink, but it wasn't. It actually was an hour and a half for the ship to sink fully. Hour and a half is incredible long, but the holes that were made by the iceberg, you think it was gigantic, but it was actually pretty small. It was not big at all. It was made in the lower parts of the compartment where there was the coals and stuff, and the people working to sustain the ship. And when that happened, there were people in there, of course, and there were systems to close the water flow so it wouldn't go up to the ships. So a lot of people were closing that stuff. A lot of people couldn't make it, of course, but when they tried to close it, there were not just dead holes, but it was the whole side of the ship was made. So if they did it there, then behind them, they were coming as well. The water was flowing in. So they really were in a really weird prediction of, we block the front off, but we have to do the back as well. But we are not fast enough to do the back. Most people, they try to get the ship. Most workers that were in a coal and try to get the electric stuff to keep on working was the heroes, of course. They just worked in the water and try to keep it as long as possible for the ship to get notice or send a signal to somebody or somewhere. So all those people, they just worked and worked and worked, and all of them probably didn't make it because they were trying to last the electrical and all the stuff as long as possible, so somebody would make a sign to the other ships or other thing. So because of that, they had a lot of time, but it was just way too quick and way too hard to counter, because it was on the wrong time. If it was on a daytime, people could have been greatly better shape, because in the daytime everybody's awake, you can move very quickly, but when everybody's asleep, waking up, everybody's in shock. So that's why everything is a lot different in nighttime and daytime. But it was as well, they didn't see the iceberg because it was nighttime. If it was daytime, they wouldn't even see the iceberg. And you could say even they could have used in the night a lot of lights, and they did use a lot of lights because they had information that there were a lot of icebergs, but it was an unsinkable ship. It was an unsinkable ship, so they didn't even bother. The key for there was a room for the the little watch things, so you can look from very far. You can look very far. I don't know what it's called. No, not a telescope, but yeah, you know what I mean. And the key was lost because it wasn't it wasn't brung on the ship. We're finally going to the lab. Pretty nice. We do have to fight a boss, I think. But because of that, they couldn't see that far. They saw it, but a little too late. It was a little rocky side of rocky. It wasn't that the ship moved a lot. It was just a little touch of the iceberg. But icebergs are incredibly strong because the iceberg is not. You cannot see it very high above the water, because the density of the water is just like the. You have a little bit of air in the water, in the ice, but the ice is still water, so it doesn't float up. If it is a lot of air in the water, then it floats up. But if it is not a lot of water, if it's just cold and it grows to ice, the ice doesn't grow higher than the water, maybe a little bit above it, but all the ice is actually underneath the water. You see the iceberg. There's a lot of things like the iceberg. You can make a lot of stuff. The bed is above the good is above the iceberg, and the bed is underneath the iceberg. It's like the iceberg thing. I don't know what it's how to say it, but you know how the iceberg looks. And so you cannot see it from very far away if you don't have a telescope, or how you the other thing. So there's a lot of things, you know, back then in 1912, where they could prevent it or just couldn't make it a lot better. Let's see, what's it? There has to be something in this body for sure. So they nothing. There has to be something. Yeah, I thought so. Oh, what the hell is this? So they tried to do a lot, but still a lot of people died in the fall of the Titanic. More than half. The women and children mostly got saved. All the men, they died, but that's what men did back then, and still do, because men are men. A man cannot be changed in something different. A man stays a man, even in the worst situations. And women are different, and children are definitely different. Children are always first. Has to be zombies over here. But let's start with we got past the 1912, but we still have the horses. There was a big time period in the. Let's start with the Second World War, with the First World War. So, First World War. I'm not gonna speak. I'm trying to do it. The First World War was caused by a man that killed a king. The king of, what was it? The king of, what king was it? France? No. Italy? No. I don't know. It was a man that killed a king, and because of that, there was a war, a dumb war, because the man that killed the king was from a different country, and because of that, there was that created the war. A lot of other things as well, but because of that, there were there were a few big nations that participated in the war. A lot of actually, but one America did not participate in this war, same as the Netherlands didn't participate in the war, because it was a neutral country back then. Still is. The country was Britain. Britain was one of the greatest countries in back then, in the First World War. Same as Germany. Germany was incredible, great for the nation it was. And you had a lot of other countries like Spain, France, you had Italy as well. You had a lot of countries, and just the wars were just, I don't know, a lot different. Belgium was as well in the war, pretty weird. A lot of ammo over here. But the war was incredible. How it just became a war from something that didn't even have to do with a war, and it just became a war because higher up people are not that smart when they are in difficult situations and they have to make the decisions when they don't know how to make the decisions. Oh, different way. Yeah, so the war ended. The First World War ended. A lot of people died. 16 million people, I think, died in the First World War. And this whole story begins with me saying that you think I'm speaking this whole thing again from 18th century, 19th century, but I'm doing that because I said that for people to learn history is very good, and that's why I said it, and have for a few episodes talked about it. It was just saying that history is a good thing to learn for people, because I think it's just necessary for a person to know what their country went through, or just what happened in the world. If you don't know what happened to your country 100 years ago, in what country do you live? You don't even live in your country then. If you don't know what country or what happened in your country, I don't think it's your country to actually live in if you don't know the history of it. It's just weird. But let's continue for the First World War. Around 18 million people died. And after the war, Germany was to blame for it, for the First World War. I had to pay a lot of $1.2 trillion across all the countries they was accused for all the damage they caused. But we're gonna talk after that in the next episode, so I'll see you then. Bye.